gentlemen, a very good morning and a warm welcome to the Pan IIM Summit 2022 with the very interesting theme of Leadership for the Future. My name is Rijoy Kurup. I'm an alumnus of IIM Ahmedabad 2006. I'm also the Vice President of the Pan IIM Alumni Network in the Middle East. And it's my role and privilege to host you this morning and share all the critical bits of information about this event, including when is the lunch break and the location of the nearest restroom, which, by the way, is on the right. But before we begin, I really want to thank all of you for attending this conference, session, event, as you want to call it, and it really comes from the bottom of my heart for a very personal reason. So when I had started as a volunteer with the Pan IIM Core Committee, so one of the first events I had been involved in was this event we had done at this very location, Address Dubai Marina, on the topic of leadership and the future of e-commerce. We had like a brilliant lineup of speakers, a wonderful spread of food and drinks, and a grand total of 15 people in the audience. So since then, seeing this hall packed to the rafters fills me with great delight and gratitude. A word of thanks as well to our wonderful sponsors, without whom this event would not have been a possibility. So a shout out to Network, Wami Capital, Emirates NBD, Prime Health, Transworld Group as well. As well as shout out to the Emirates Literature Festival, the Emirates Litfest as we all know them as. It is in partnership with them that we are able to bring to you the fireside chat with Ms. Indra Nui. As you all know, we have a brilliant lineup of speakers for you this morning. And over the next few hours, we will learn, we will engage, we will listen, we will get inspired, and hopefully we'll have some fun. Just a couple of points around standard housekeeping. So out of courtesy to the speakers, please keep your mobile phones on silent. Please abide by all the social distancing and the mask wearing norms before you start saying, look who's talking. So the speakers and panelists are, I'm informed, reliably exempt from the mask wearing requirements. So please fasten your seatbelts, secure all baggage underneath your seats, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the event. I will now invite Rahul Arya, who's the president of the Pan IIM Alumni Network in the Middle East, to the stage to say a few words and officially open the event. So technically, I've already opened the event, but there's nothing official about it. Rahul, thank you. I've waited 1 month to crack this joke. Rahul is an IIM Bangalore and IIT Delhi alumnus. He's also an alumnus from the Indian Administrative Services, having served Government of India in a variety of roles and capacities as a civil servant. Rahul, over to you. I didn't get any applause.
Thank you, Rijoy. And thank you, everyone, for making time to attend this event. Your Excellency, the Ambassador of UAE to India, India to the UAE, Mr. Sunjay Sudhir, members of the board of Pan IIM Alumni Network, esteemed panelists, fellow alumni members, and distinguished guests. On behalf of the members of Pan IIM Alumni Network, I welcome you all to this event. The theme of today's event is Leadership for the Future. Similar to IIM's, the Pan IIM Alumni Network also has a great legacy and a great pedigree. When Avi introduced me to the Pan IIM Alumni Network, and I learned about the illustrious people who have been leading it, I was quite humbled that I was even considered for an opportunity to lead it. And I have a team of relatively young, 9 people, to reinvigorate the theme and the agenda and the purpose for which the Pan IIM Alumni Network Association exists. I would therefore start to begin by expressing this deep sense of gratitude for having given this opportunity to relatively young sort of alums in the region, and bringing all of us together collectively for the shared purpose that we all have towards brand IIM, and I would say more in general, brand India. I would also like to take a minute to introduce the Pan IIM Alumni Network to some of our guests who probably are not familiar with brand IIM and the Pan IIM Alumni Network in general. So the network's purpose really is to, first and foremost, bring all the alumni together And secondly, do everything that's relevant socially as well as, we all come from business backgrounds, so probably more economically, to drive the agenda that really enhances the reputation of brand IIM, and I would say, brand India in general. Many of us actually also come from IITs. We relate to these institutions of excellence, and this is what India stands for, this is what IIM stands for. Ever since I have started working for Pan IIM Alumni Network, it's been a few months now. It's a voluntary role, and we all have a full-time job that actually gives us the bread to feed our families. I'm really surprised, and the dedication that the XCOM team kind of brings in. We do every Saturday catch-ups, and the amount of work that has gone on in organizing this one is tremendous and amazing. While there has been a great history of the accomplishments that previous executive committees of Pan IIM Alumni Network have achieved, I think we're just carrying forward that great legacy by, one, organizing a few events like this. One thing where we are trying to change a little bit is trying to make it a little bit more broad-based participation, because I have realized that 9 members of XCOM, or even 10 or 20 of us coming together on informal WhatsApp groups, will probably not help us as much as leveraging the collective power of all of us, under one umbrella where we actually passionately work towards these shared objectives. I would like to take the next few minutes just to highlight a few things that we plan to do as part of Pan IIM Alumni Network's Executive Committee. First and foremost, it's the knowledge, it's the perspective, it's the enterprise and our ability that we are known for. We are not known for having big money or big political backing, and we want to leverage this knowledge, and we want to leverage this enterprise within us to be able to do everything that's socially relevant, that makes economic contributions, not only to this region, but also back home. In the past, the organization of Pan IIM Alumni Network has been involved in several such initiatives. When India had a peak of COVID wave, we contributed by distributing oxygen cylinders back home. We want to do more of those events, and to bring all these people together, we have launched a few initiatives. I would like to enumerate a few of those. One, true to today's age, we are launching social media presence. We are launching a YouTube channel. We are launching a LinkedIn page. And we want to bring more and more younger people, as well as the distinguished, established alumni who have been in this region, to really connect on these forums with us, share their thoughts, perspectives, reflections, so that we can all benefit from. And we pursue those channels to really further our agenda. Today's event really is about celebrating the success, the collective success of alumni in this region. We are about 800 of us here in UAE alone. If you take the numbers in wider GCC, I think those are about 2,000. The great vision of the leaders of this country and the enormous socioeconomic transformation that's unfolding is creating a vibrancy in the economic environment that's attracting a lot more younger people to come and work in this region. And we see our numbers rising steadily. We will have very soon Ms. Indranu joining us as well. She is a symbol of excellence that IIMs and Indian diaspora in general stand for. We can all be very proud of what we have achieved. We can celebrate it today. As leaders of tomorrow, I think we have a lot of obligations. And with in that respect, I believe the theme of today's event, the leadership for the future, is quite apt. I will just add 3 things that come to my mind. The first one of that is the pandemic and how it has actually changed the way organizations work today. It's affecting the personal and professional boundaries. We don't have the luxury of physical proximity anymore. I personally find it very hard that in such a new environment, you really need to keep masses energized and the people that you work with motivated. How are we going to do that in this new world? That's a question that leadership for future, it's relevant for leadership for future to think about. Technology is disrupting the traditional methods of business. It's creating new opportunities, different type of business models. It's an era of billionaires in their 20s. These are the people who are armed with technologies, the power of ideas, enterprise. They are constantly challenging the status quo. How, as the leaders of tomorrow, we make our businesses resilient, our business models resilient? It's a question I would like to probe through the panels today. We are at a cusp of AI revolution. It's not being ingrained, not just in industrial processes, but in our day-to-day lives. As humans, we celebrate human values, human ethics. Do we think that the machines needs to be taught some bit of ethics? Or are we really going to overlook the biases that may arise because of the algorithms, data, and everything that goes into those machines that will make all those decisions for us in the future? These are all interesting questions that come to my mind, and I would be very happy to hear perspectives of our esteemed panelists and speakers on this. Finally, without taking much time, I would like to express my deep gratitude and courtesy to Your Excellency, the Ambassador of India to UAE, Mr. Sunjay Sudhir, for your time, support, and patronage. Ms. Indra Noish is going to join us very soon, for being so generous to give us the opportunity to let our alumni in the region connect with her. Distinguished panelists, for taking out time to attend this event and sharing your perspectives with us. The members of the board of Pan IIM Alumni Network. Madhu Sharma is not being able to join the event today. Hari Padmanabhan, Avi Bhujani, and Rajiv Kakkar. Without your constant support, guidance, and everything that you provide to us, we would not be able to move an inch. To our sponsors, Network International, Wami Capital, Transworld, Emirates NBD, and Prime Medical Healthcare, thank you for your generosity and affiliation with us. Fellow members, volunteers, and guests, thank you for your kind contribution and engagement. And last but not the least, the members of Executive Committee. Many of you haven't slept last night, and I truly cannot admire it enough. Without you, we probably would not have been able to organize this event. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you our guest of honor for today, His Excellency, the Ambassador of India to the UAE, Mr. Sunjay Sudhir. Very quick introduction. His Excellency, Mr. Sunjay Sudhir, is an IFS officer from 1993 batch. In a diplomatic career spanning over 3 decades, he has served several Indian missions abroad. He's been counselor at Permanent Mission of India at WTO in Geneva. He's an alumnus of IIT Delhi and Oxford University in the UK. While we all have a lot of corporate perspective, I really look forward to hear perspective from bureaucracy and diplomacy when it comes to leadership for tomorrow. So without further ado, I would like to invite His Excellency to the stage to address all of us. Thank you so much.
Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed an honor for me to celebrate the success of IIMs and their alums. At the outset, let me congratulate the Pan IIM Alumni Network to hold today's event. I believe it's after a gap, but let's blame the gap to COVID. But now that all this, young people and the energy has been spoken about, I hope it's regular from now on. I think these thought leadership events are always useful to reflect on issues which otherwise tend to miss our attention given our day-to-day preoccupations. I joined as Ambassador of India to the UAE just about 2 months back. And the first organization to reach out to me was the Pan IIM Network. I must share that I'm impressed by the goodwill which Indians have generated in the UAE over the last several decades based on their hard work and professionalism. Over my interactions with very highly placed UAE dignitaries, it's very clear to me that our professionals are regarded as the best in the world. It is not without reason that they have risen to leadership positions in the UAE. In particular, our managers, financial experts, and engineers have made India proud and created a unique image of India and Indians for their professionalism, hard work, and dependability. Among the top Indian professional institutes, I think two clearly stand out: the Indian Institutes of Management and Indian Institutes of Technology. Well, as an ambassador, I must say that, of course, success can never be the exclusive preserve of any institution, but personally, with my biases, I must say that the IIMs and IITs definitely stand out. And I see among the attendees today that a lot of you actually bridge the IIT and IIMs. It's great to see such a confluence of great minds and an ocean of experience which you all created together. Brand India today is witnessing an exponential growth globally. It is not without reason that some of the top global CEOs are of Indian origin. One of the shining examples, Ms. Indra Nui, would be joining us shortly, and it's so heartening that she will be with us because she has always been flying the IIM flag very high. Well, I'm not from IIMs, but I've really had the privilege to do some lectures at the IIM Ahmedabad. More than ever before, I think this is just the right time to ride on this surging wave of Brand India, benefit yourself, and take Brand India even further. Two hallmarks of this emerging Brand India are our strengths in technology and human capital. As far as human capital is concerned, the IIMs are perhaps a major contributor. You know it better than me that a number of Fortune 500 companies owe much of their success to the IIMs. I think one of the USPs of IIM training is the level of empathy which you all bring to your managerial prowess. I think that is the big differentiator. You have a better feel for humans and human dynamics, and I think that stands out. Just a few days back, I was attending a meeting in which we were discussing how India and the UAE can come together and provide better health facilities in the African continent. And in that discussion, one thing came out very clear, and that was that in addition to the medical skills of our super specialist doctors, as well as our nurses, is the human touch, which brings a very different level of trust between doctors and patients. Last week, I was talking to one of the ministers, and wouldn't like to name her, but she said that she's very convinced that she will never trust her children with anyone else but Indian doctors, and I think that speaks a lot. It's this human touch, which, in addition to your skills, is your USP in the corporate world. I also wish to mention that an area where IIM alums can make a significant contribution. You would have seen that COVID pandemic has not dented India's innovative or entrepreneurial spirit. Actually, over 40 unicorns emerged last year, and today we are among the leading country producing unicorns. I think Indian startups could benefit immensely from your support. The embassy and consulate are making big efforts to bring Indian startups to Dubai and organize weekly pitching sessions where these startups meet potential financiers. Some of you are already involved in that, and I've met some of you here. I encourage you all to participate more actively in the Elevate sessions being organized once a week. I'm sure that the budding startups will gain immensely from your mentoring, your financing, and support of any other kind which you could provide to them. It could also be good investing opportunities for you as well. The Government of India, as you all know, has taken some exceptional initiatives in the last 5-7 years to strengthen the institutional structure of the economy. Some of these are things like Make in India, Digital India, regulation of the real estate sector, startups, United Payment Interface, GST, the new insolvency and bankruptcy laws, and so many other initiatives. It's just that for these initiatives to fully fructify, it does take a while. But the impact, the positive impact of all these initiatives are already quite visible. You would have also seen that in the budget which was announced on the 1st of February, GDP growth is estimated at about 9.2, making India the fastest growing major economy in the world. The emphasis on 6 million new jobs, 35% increase in outlay for capital projects, thrust on the PLI schemes. I think they all create opportunities for you all. Please see where you all or the companies you work for fit in to take advantage of the opportunities which are coming up. Having you all together, I also wish to share a few thoughts on the current state of our bilateral relations. As you know, our two governments have built on the historical connect, our people-to-people, cultural, and trade links to transform this relationship into perhaps the best India has in this region. Borrowing a term from cricket or perhaps golf, our relationship has hit that sweet spot. Of course, our Indian community is the backbone of this relationship. The last 7 years have witnessed 5 visits at the level of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and His Highness Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. A visit was by PM Modi was expected in January, but unfortunately, Omicron came in the way. Today, the UAE is our 3rd largest trading partner, and we are their 2nd largest, with bilateral trade hovering around $60 billion. In 4 months flat, we have been able to conclude a comprehensive economic partnership agreement. And I think to conclude such a major agreement between big economies is a big deal, because it really underlines the kind of trust which we have with each other, and also the trust which we have in each other's future and working together. The CEPA, as we call it in short, is expected to take bilateral trade from 60 to about $100 billion in the next 5 years, besides also opening avenues for investments. We expect to sign CEPA in the next 7 to 10 days, probably. Not only is our bilateral relationship strong, we are also supporting each other in the regional context. You would have all heard about the quadrilateral between India, UAE, Israel, and the US. Plans are still being worked out on how to optimize our coming together so as to bring about economic prosperity for all of us. This year, as India celebrates 75 years of its independence as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the UAE celebrates year of the 50th. We are also celebrating 50 years of our diplomatic relations with the UAE. We are indeed privileged that India is among the 3 countries which have a permanent pavilion at Dubai Expo. The pavilion has already seen a footfall of over 800,000 people. And it's so heartening for us to, and for all of you also, to know that Shekhar Kapoor and A.R. Rahman are perhaps the only 2 global cultural celebrities which are there, which are working very closely with the organizers of Dubai Expo. They've also been working at this Firdaus studio to create a musical called Why. I think it's performing now, so take your chance, Thursday to Sunday, I think. I must also say that Dubai never stops amazing me. To organize Dubai Expo during the peak of COVID, I think is not easy. To me, Dubai Expo reflects the triumph of human spirit at a time of adversity. While COVID pandemic has dampened the spirits of humans as well as governments globally, Dubai Expo stands out as a shining example of optimism, hope, and determination, conveying a very clear message that together we can prevail over any adversity. And it's so heartening for me, and surely for all of you, that one of your alums is very, very closely associated with planning, strategizing, and running the expo, sitting right here. Also, what amazes me about UAE and Dubai is that when COVID has disrupted international travel, airlines of the UAE have actually converted the challenge into an opportunity and connected people, connected countries, brought economic opportunities. I really admire the vision of leadership of this country and also the implementation of the vision which they have. In conclusion, I wish to say that for sure that all of you are busy professionals and also busy personal lives. However, such thought leadership events could perhaps be held more frequently, as they will bring value to you individually as well as the IIM community collectively. Remember that all of you are ambassadors of India. Well, I'm the only paid one from Government of India. But you are all ambassadors of India. And the image of India which gets formed through your collective work, I think, is recognition of the contribution of India to this country. When you do well, India does well, and that makes us happy. I also wish to acknowledge and thank you all for your contribution to the Indian community. Your efforts made a big difference during the most difficult days of COVID back home, particularly during the 2nd wave, the Delta wave, when you all came together to provide oxygen cylinders. We will continue to count on your support on supporting the Indian community in the UAE, because that is one task which certainly, I'm very convinced, we at the embassy and the consulate can never do together. We have to do it for the community, with the support of the community. I wish today's event great success, and it's great to see you all.
So thank you so much for your energizing thoughts. We are all gung-ho and ready to start. May I now please request Rahul Arya to come on stage and felicitate the ambassador. Sir, we'll need you here again for next 5-10 minutes. So Isaac Newton, who single-handedly made high school physics extremely painful or supremely interesting based on your point of view, had said that if I can see further, it's because I have been able to stand on the shoulders of giants. Now, obviously, we are no match for Newton, but we have whatever little we have accomplished as the Pan Am Alumni Network has been because we have some giants of our own. These individuals have supported us, guided us, pushed us. They've given us the safety net, which has helped us fly even higher, and that's without even Red Bull. So we would like to take this opportunity to felicitate some of our advisors and mentors who have been also kind enough to be here today. If I read out their complete list of accomplishments, we'll probably be here until dinner. We don't have the budget for that. So I'll take the easier way out and just share some highlights from their extremely decorated careers. May I first call upon on stage Mr. Avi Bhojani. So as you all know, Avi's career spans across more than 35 years of experience in varied fields: marketing services, media, education, real estate. Avi has been or was heading the BPG group since '91 and has assisted in the conceptualizing delivery of many Dubai properties like Dubai Summer Surprises and so on. He's also on the board of governors for the International Institute of Tolerance by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Thank you. So may I now please call upon on stage Mr. Hari Padmanabhan. So Hari Padmanabhan, also known in certain circles as Hari Belafonte, was also the past president of the Pan Am Alumni Network. He is a mentor, angel investor, and executive chairman at Encore Group. So while Mr. MP Sharma, I believe, is not here, I'll just read a quick citation. So MP Sharma is a youngster of the group with only about 40 years of experience. So he's an institution when it comes to matters of the UAE, and he's really been a pioneer. And I think many of us are probably charting the path which was first set out by him. And finally, can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Rajiv Kakkar? So Rajiv, as you know, is an experienced banker, serial entrepreneur, on the board of University of Chicago Booth School of Business, has built leadership organizations, institutes, and has been on leadership positions at Citi, Fullerton Financial Holdings, and of course, Dunya Finance.